Yeah, they're not staccato, they're just quavers. So just try to... Piano, and then pianissimo. That's getting better. I mean, I think I still would like it softer, and really, I mean, you can't really get soft enough there, as long as it still has bite. Yeah. In this opening, also, I would pay a bit more attention to the bass line, really, because that's, in a sense, what is fascinating, is this... Going down to the G. Yeah. If you can really feel that this first one is not just... and we started, but... there's a cello or whatever, a bassoon, actually playing that whole line of C's, and that the first note is not detached from the rest. So why don't we move on to the second subject material? And let's try a little bit more pure view of the theme, maybe not so slowed up, a little bit more even. Points. I miss this. I hear lots of the right hand, especially, and also this scale, but I don't hear really what I think is important, which is the bass line. And with this theme, you have it's the first time is dolce molto legato, nothing, dee da 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 da, then dee da da dee da, and it's a crescendo to a sforzando within that one bar, with a little hairpin down to the next piano. So the two they must be totally different in the direction and the dynamics. Let's just try again from here. We'll go to the G sharp. That's the high, yeah. It sort of slows in the triplets and rushes in the others. It should be more gradual. Let's try what we were talking about before, the forte here. Keep it sort of on the mezzo side of forte, and then suddenly give us this fortissimo. It's thrilling. It's so exciting. Well, that's, yeah, not as much, I don't think. It's got to fit into an expressive way of playing the phrase, but it's something that just, I think, to work on a little bit more. Be careful also not to lose the bass where you have the forte pianos here. It's important that this should end up on the A as a resolution. try, for you to try sometime to do that much more in tempo. These, and then back to, you know, there is always the possibility with something like this, as I said, that it will be a tiny bit under tempo, but it should be, you should be able to deceive the audience that really it wasn't, that, that their ears were wrong, not you. Yeah. There's a slight, you know, Beethoven, the dynamics and the phrasings are as important as the notes in Beethoven, and that sounds like an exaggeration, but I don't think it is really. You know, it would be as wrong to put 5 sharps at the bottom and play it as it would to ignore completely, I think, some of the markings, because Beethoven is the most specific marking probably before the 20th, marker before the 20th century. Can we just try some of that? Because I want to go back into the recap as well. Like this over and over and over again, there's a tendency for us to want to soften it by doing something with it, you know, trying to think, oh, this time I'll do it a little bit more here, a little bit. Sometimes, yeah, Beethoven just wants to say the same thing again and again and again and again, and that is part of the style. It's particularly true in the last movement of this, when you get these endlessly reiterated chords and just great blocks of C major. You know, he wants those positive colors, and I miss that a little bit, but particularly when you played it as a performance. A little less now. What you did before when we talked about the subito fortissimo, you did here, and that's you crescendo to it. And I like it's much more exciting, I think, if it's subito. Yeah. And then absolutely and subito fortissimo. Can we just try maybe from just the lead into this? Fifth finger on the bottom. But still pianissimo, but and in the right hand too. Forte that he has on this last note is a rather strange. What do you think it might mean?
I think it's like the beginning, like it's an accent to that.
I don't think there is an accent at the beginning, though.
Well, I always put one.
Well, I think we've taken it out, though, in the last 15 minutes, but you can put it back later. I mean, it could either be a reinforcement of an accent, or I wonder whether it might not be. In fact, it says it's missing in the original edition, which proves that even at the time of Beethoven it was a bit of a mystery. I wonder whether it might be that he doesn't want an accent on that he wants it softer slightly.
Oh, because it's forte.
Because otherwise you get this overhanging a little bit. I mean, you know, certainly on our modern piano, but possibly even on his piano as well. So I would suggest not but
yeah.
piano, just a little less than fortissimo.